Well, hello, hello. Happy eclipse season. Happy full moon weekend. This is Magdalena Grace. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And always love bringing new people in and welcoming you into the fold. I'm going to go ahead and cleanse and clear. This is my monthly full moon ritual, but this is the eclipse edition. This Sunday, September 7th, we have a full moon eclipse in Pisces, and it's already been being felt by yours truly. Oh my gosh, I'm like setting things on fire here. Don't mind me. You can go ahead and set up sacred space. This is an opportunity for you to have a ritual connection with the runes, as well as chanting and toning by yours truly. You can also have a piece of paper. So grab paper, pen would be preferable, and a light. So today is very interesting. I could not light any of my candles that I normally light. So that was spirit telling me I needed to light a red candle for the root chakra, because this eclipse season is all about ending, severing, letting go of karmic bullshit. Karmic contracts may be ending, relationships may be ending, all sorts of different opportunities to cleanse and clear. Every 6 months we have an eclipse season to just really let a lot of shit go and to up level. So if you've been feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm breaking down, I'm emotional, I'm exhausted, this, that, or the other, it's very likely that you're empathic and you're picking up the energies of what's happening on in the planet with the eclipse. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I'm a runes reader and an alchemist. So I'm going to be pulling from my runes today, and my bonus card deck is the Runic Oracle deck. This is meant to be a reading, a ritual, and a discussion about what is it that you want to let go. So stick around. Give or take 30 minutes. I'll just do a couple of quick announcements. I do have the Goddess Awakening retreat that starts Monday, September the 8th, in time for the 9/9 portal here in San Diego. There's still a couple spots left. And also the September 14th is a Sunday, Health and Vitality Day, also in person. If you have questions, email me at info@magdalenagrace.com. You can also go ahead and sign up, because I have both events on the website magdalenagrace.com. There is a discount though for the women's event. This last minute, we're giving a huge discount to the first 2 people that reach out to me. So email me at info@magdalenagrace.com by ideally Saturday, because we start the retreat on Monday. And if you're catching this later, just know that I am offering up a whole bunch of retreats. I have another retreat in October. I will also have a medicine ceremonial opportunity in October. There's 2 in October, actually, to honor the connection to the Samhain, Samhain, Day of the Dead. Ancestral trauma healing is one of my specialties. Getting to those root causes of your challenges in life, not the surface level fluff, guys. We don't do that anymore, not in this planetary awakening. If you're working on the surface level with only doing regular talk therapy, maybe getting a massage once or twice a year, you're not fully living and awakening to your truth. I just want to put that out there right now. That may sound harsh, but I have seen a lot. My clients are in it to win it, and I just want to be a light into the world. So if you can't do my September events, there's plenty of October events, and I'm working right now on my whole 2026 calendar of retreats and opportunities for alchemizing your grief into gold, your pain into purpose, and really just helping you live your life abundantly, because that's what you deserve. So again, email me, go to magdalenagrace.com. And if you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can receive more notifications of all of the things. So right now, just highlights, because again, I'm not an astrologer. What does this Pisces eclipse mean? So first of all, Pisces is in the North Node. Again, I'm not going to go into all of the details around that, but what that means is like your true north. What is your vision for your life? And this full moon eclipse on Sunday, September 7th is all about gaining clarity on that vision. What do you get to let go and shed this year of the snake? What do you get to let go and shed so that you can move forward confidently in the direction of your dreams? And admittedly, maybe not so confidently, because there is a lot of fear energy on the planet right now. I've been dealing with it. It's been a lot for me and my clients. And I've been working on alchemy for 4 years now. So every time I shed more, it's just like there's another layer. I'm not done. Neither are you. And so ultimately, this Pisces full moon is leading into the Virgo new moon eclipse. That's going to be a lunar eclipse. So the next 2 to 4 weeks, actually, you could have some major shifts. You could move, you can end a relationship, you can maybe find a new relationship, you can maybe strengthen a current relationship, work through a lot of shit and come out better for it. You could have a financial situation, positive or negative, depending on how you look at it. You could have a career sudden shift. This is the kind of stuff that happens in eclipse season. You know, this a year ago, September eclipse is when I really, really, really got clear that I really needed to strongly consider divorcing my husband, which I did. So here I'm coming full circle a year later, being able to have now just purged and let that go. And I'm still healing some stuff from that in this eclipse. It's shown up for me this week. I've been exhausted. I've had grief. I've had anger. And then I've had bliss and joy. And so if you feel like you're going a little crazy, welcome to eclipse season. So Pisces is also intuition, kind of like shadow, occult, watery, emotional. So if you're crying more, it's normal. If you're getting bigger dreams, maybe even scarier dreams, it's normal. If you're having any kind of intuitive downloads or messages, this is a great time to meditate and to connect with divine guidance or your inner child or your higher self, or just meditate and allow the mind to chill out so that you can receive messages instead of always thinking and doing on the go. So if you're feeling tired, it's actually a sign that the universe is trying to slow you down during this eclipse season. It's a great time for reflection, Pisces. It's a great time to be a little more in the flow and surrender and be curious. Be curious. This is a great time to practice being that observer, that witness of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, arguments. It can also be a time to really speak your truth if you've been doing the work. I've had some very truth-filled conversations in the past week. Holy Toledo. And I plan on having a few more. So if you need an astrologer, I have great referrals too for readings. I am a runes reader. So we're going to dive into what do the runes have to say about this full moon weekend. So I'm going to go in ahead and pull the runes. And actually what I want you to do right now, let's take a deep inhale. So stop what you're doing. Hopefully you're not driving. If you are driving, you can still inhale with us, but if you're not driving, close your eyes. And let's get centered. Do 2 deep inhales and exhales. Go ahead, inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. And then sigh it out, let it go. Another deep inhale. Go ahead, inhale deeply. And exhale, let it go. And take a moment just pondering what's been going on in your life, health, wealth, relationships, career, finance, moving, job, whatever. What's been present for you? What's been yelling at you, screaming, wanting attention? And starting to think about what it is that you want to let go with this full moon. While I call in spirit, the wisdom of Woden and Freya and the runes. And whenever you feel ready, only when you feel ready, feel free to come back and open your eyes. Okay, I will go ahead and pull the bonus card. I always pull past, present, future, and do an overall reading. This is a collective reading. So just a gentle nudge and reminder, if you want a specific personal reading, you got to go to magdalenagrace.com and sign up for that. I will be raising my prices in the new year, so this is a great time to get a one-on-one personal reading, especially as we head into, October, ancestral healing season, end of year, really taking a little reflection time, getting clarity. What is it here that you're to heal, feel, do, and rewrite the story for yourself? Okay, wow. All right. Awesome. So I'm going to show you the runes. You can have, here's a couple of pro tips. You can have a piece of paper and actually draw the rune out as I show it to you. Take a couple breaths and notice any thought, feeling, emotion, memory that comes up when you look at the runes. I will be quiet and then I'll read it to you as I receive intuitive guidance. So here's the first one. And so this is since the last full moon, which was in August. I believe it was like, I can't remember now if it was August 8th, 9th. It seems so long ago. But this is the energy since that. This is Burkano or Burkana, depending on who you talk to. But the main idea of this is really connecting with the feminine energy. So a lot of people have been really slowing down. A lot of people have been really feeling like they couldn't do as much. I actually took the whole month of August really almost off and went to the mountain. I love how this is. If you put it upside on the side, it looks like mountains. I went to Mount Shasta to do a lot of root chakra healing. That's mother wound, ancestral trauma. So maybe, just maybe, this past 30 days, you've had some mother wounding realizations, separation, isolation, abandonment wounding come up. Did you get a chance to nurture yourself? Did you get a chance to just allow some emotions to come up and flow through you? So this is the first rune. This is the current full moon weekend energy. I'll show you first. Take a look. Again, take an inhale, exhale. You can draw it down on your paper if you'd like. See what comes through: thought, memory, feeling, emotion. And this is Ansu's, also known as Odin's rune, Ansu. So here's what I'm getting. If you felt that you were slowed down, you took more time for reflection, you took more time for healing, internal work, emotional work, motherly, nurturing yourself, working on some of those abandonment wounds, things of that nature, then now is the time that, because of this full moon and Pisces, you're letting go and you're able to communicate better. So this is really telling me to encourage you to step into your power, into your truth, and ask for what you want. Maybe you do want to end that relationship. Maybe you do want to speak to that health coach. Maybe you do want to speak to that financial advisor. Maybe you do want to have an energy clearing conversation with someone. Maybe you do want to write that song. Maybe you do want to write that poem. This is all about communication. And ultimately, also, there's some discipline. This is Odin's rune for a reason. He's the all father. When you think of that father masculine energy, it is an action oriented doing energy. It also supports the Berkano, the feminine flow. So you allowed yourself to be in some feminine nurturing flow so that you can speak more clearly. You're more grounded in your communication. So this is a great time to write, to sing, to speak your truth. And also, if you work with Woden or if you work with any divine guidance, a great time to receive messages and channel. It's not a bad idea to just really drop into deep meditation like trance state or shamanic journey and receive that divine guidance. Pisces, very occult, very intuitive, very, very shadow. Maybe turn those shadows and wounds into poetry. Right? There's nothing better. Like when you think of musicians like Prince or any musician, Mozart, Van Gogh's art, a lot of times they were taking the pain of their lives, their childhood, and channeling it into something beautiful. So I love that. And now here is the third and final rune. This speaks of the full moon energy till the next full moon in October If I'm not mistaken, it's like the 9th or something like that. So here, take a look at this. Algae is reversed. It is upside down. It is reversed. Draw the rune. And algae's reverse is very interesting because when it's upright, it's all about protection, safety, getting connection to your ancestors. So this being the third and final rune between now and October, it may be a little unsettling time again because of the next eclipse that's coming up on the 21st. That one's gonna, in theory, it's meant to be an even bigger one. But this is correlating with some possible challenges or not feeling safe, maybe being in a position where you don't feel protected. It's warning you to really just make sure that you kind of keep a lid on your emotions, keep your emotions under control, protect your emotions. You may need to be more intentional about that through the next 4 weeks. Okay. I never say a reverse rune is a bad rune, although some people interpret that as such. It's actually a warning. It's warning you to be able to ask for help, get more protection in place, because you may not be protected. And think about this. This full moon in Pisces is all about letting go, speaking your truth, and communicating in such a creative way, which shows that you're changing, you're evolving. You may be standing in your power for the first time, maybe ever, with certain people in your life. And guess what? Sometimes people get upset. People will come after you. They'll be triggered by your power. So you've got to be ready to protect yourself, whether that's through prayer, ritual. Maybe that's something that you work on in today's letting go ritual. But just really make sure you don't hide, don't isolate. After you've spoken your truth, maybe you created a new song, maybe you did something very bold in your communication this weekend and the coming week ahead. There may be some fallout, some distancing that you have to do, some boundaries you get to set. That's also, boundaries is about protection. Maybe you get to work on calling in a protection bubble every day. Maybe you haven't been doing that. I call on Archangel Michael every day and all sorts of protection and guidance and support. Gotten really, really prayerful in the past 6 months because of things that have happened in my personal life, but also what's happening on the planet. So make sure you don't necessarily run and hide. This is a time to protect yourself and still go out into the world. A lot of times people will isolate in eclipse season. This is not a time to do that. Okay. Then the clarifying rune, and keep in mind, this goes with the first two runes. If this is resonating with you, I always say take the best, leave the rest. Not everything is supposed to resonate. If you nurtured yourself last month and you really mothered yourself, you worked on the abandonment wounding, all that kind of stuff, and then you spoke your truth and you were able to communicate through song, poetry, writing, speaking, then there is going to be some fallout, but then it's meant to strengthen you. You faced your fears and you did it anyway, and guess what? That can be scary. You may feel not protected, but you are your own protector. You can call upon that support. Now, here's the clarifying bonus card, again, from the Runic Oracle deck, my new favorite deck. So take a look at this. This is another rune. It's Hagalaz. Hagalaz. You can say it, you can draw it, Hagalaz. And it says on the card, change, hardiness, and challenge. So Hagalaz in the runic tradition means hailstorm. So this is perfect. It goes really, really well with the other three. So ultimately, the inspirational question here in the book that I'm reading from is, where am I prepared? Where am I prepared? Affirmation, this too will pass. This too will pass. I've been saying that so much the past 30 days. Hagalaz the hail brings devastation to crops and livestock. This rune signifies the profound change can also lead to adaptation and new growth, to evolution in response to challenges. Hagalaz represents the energy of drastic external changes like a significant breakup or a major life shift. I can't make this stuff up. Hello, eclipse season. Let's be clear, it's not that dramatic. It's not that dramatic. Hagalaz is asking you to transition maturely, to accept your new reality and adapt without clinging to the past. Oh my gosh, this is so true. So again, adapt and accept your new reality without clinging to the past. The rune challenges you to not just survive, but adapt to a changed world. On an individual level, this rune signifies the upheaval of relationships. Hagalaz highlights the strength and adaptability you need to endure such changes. Don't leap to the drastic. This can mean a renegotiation of how your relationship works. I've had that this week. Not to end it all and move to an ashram. Relationships can be jobs, friends, intimate, familial, or with a business or a bank. So remember that. Have you canceled that subscription to the streaming service you don't use, or made sure the auto payments have stopped for the gym you don't go to? Those are also examples of relationships. When Hagalaz appears, it signals sudden change. It encourages you to brace yourself, be ready to adapt, and view challenges as opportunities for growth. The rune implies the potential for change that may not be gentle. Eclipse season. Look for clues about the source of this change. Remember, we talked about that, getting to the root causes of it. Encountering Hagalaz in your life prompts you to prepare for practical changes and develop hardiness in the face of the unpredictable. So Hagalaz, again, hailstorms, even though they hurt the crops and the animals and the ground and the cars they hit initially, it turns into water and it nourishes the land. And sometimes it means you get a new windshield. Sometimes it means you may have an animal die. You know, change happens. Change is constant, and especially during eclipse season, it's expected. So if you go into the rest of this month and the next 4 weeks, especially understanding that changes happen, and you come in with curiosity, and you understand this too shall pass. That's actually going to be, I think that's going to be the title of this. This too shall pass. So I want you to go ahead. I'm just going to give you a few seconds, but if you want to push pause before I start doing the toning meditation, I want you to take your piece of paper and hit the pause button. What do you want to let go of on this Pisces full moon? This is part of your ritual. And then, of course, you have your fire light. We're going to tone first, and then you can write it down. Actually, I'm changing the order of things just to clarify. Don't put pause now. I'm going to tone first, and I want you to meditate on what it is that you're letting go of. What is that's challenging you right now? Health, wealth, relationship, career, finance, moving, that you want to see surrendered, alchemized, transmuted with this Pisces full moon on Sunday. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to do just a few short minutes of toning. Then we'll open our eyes, write down what it is you got that came through. So take your time. No rush. At any point, you can always hit the pause button. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Take a nice deep inhale. Get comfy. And exhale. And go inward and see what comes through. Answers. Answers. Ansus. Aris. Agamas. Keeping your eyes closed, if you like, go ahead and take a deep inhale into the nose. Inhale, fully expanding the belly and the chest as you do so. Deeply inhale. And sigh it out. Opening your eyes if they were closed. And go ahead now if you want to push pause. Maybe you need some more time to reflect. What is it that you want to let go of in this full moon ritual? So go ahead and stop the recording or write it down. Remember, you can let it go and burn it away. Burn it away. You have your candle handy, and then you just let it go. Let it go. So now you can burn it. Burn the piece of paper, put it somewhere safe in a bowl in your fireplace. Make sure your safety first. And feel into it. You know, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to lie down and stretch and move, do a little dance, a little ecstatic dance, jump up and down, shake it out after you burn it. Just do whatever you need to embody this. Now, the next step would be, even though this is a full moon, normally it's all about releasing and letting go. What my teachers have said is this is an eclipse, so it's even more important to write out your vision on this particular eclipse. So writing out, what is it that you want now that you've let go? Normally it's more of the new moon thing. And actually what I would encourage you to do is between now and the new moon is to write down your vision for health, wealth, relationships, career, finance, and just really start to dream and meditate with it. Put it under your pillow. Maybe meditate on it first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Really, really reprogram the unconscious mind. Now that you've let this go, embodied action is critical. Most people will go to a seminar, a medicine ceremony, they'll go and then they go home and nothing changes. Big mistake. You've got to take action. So what action can you take? Maybe write that down in your journal along with your vision as your homework. And really heed the message today. Again, this too shall pass. Be curious, be compassionate, be as kind as you can to others. Be grounded, Virgo. We're still in Virgo season. Grounding is really what's coming to me so much in the past couple weeks, especially since I went to Mount Shasta. Grounding in your root chakra. Maybe a great time to wear red, to eat red foods. This is apple season in most states in the US. Really get into nurturing and grounding yourself as you go through this eclipse season. That's my final advice to you. If you saw value in this today, again, please hit the share button, subscribe, share with a friend. Sharing is caring, especially if they're struggling right now. I do have a special podcast episode that's going to go well with this. We're talking about eclipse season with Kevin Russell. Comment below with what you got out of today's reading. What are you committed to? What did you let go? What do you want to take action on? And again, if you want a private reading, sign up for that at magdalenagrace.com. If you want to donate to my coffee fund, I love donations. It keeps this channel going. And I look forward to doing a reading next week. We'll have a 9/9 portal reading. We have a big portal next week, a lot of energies between now and the next eclipse. So you'll be hearing from me quite a bit this month to help guide you and navigate through this season of massive, massive endings and massive, massive shifts. So until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best relationship. And remember, this too shall pass, and the best is yet to come. If you're conscious and aware, you can make gold out of lead, turn your pain into purpose. There's so much potential here in this eclipse season. All right, take care. Bye-bye for now.
Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Hire Magdalena for a runes reading or healing session by emailing support@microdosingforhealth.com.